Hi, I'm Dan Schmitt. I do a motorcycle racing TV show, Team Chicago Challenge. My email is teamdan45@gmail.com. My website is teamchicago.tv. I'm at MCC, which is in Villa Park, Illinois. Route 83 is about a half-mile east of here. We're right on St. Charles Road. And today I wanted to come out and find everything there is to know about the new dirt bikes that Triumph is making. We're also going to talk about the Ducati dirt bikes. Ducati and Triumph, for the last 20 years, people have just thought of them as street bikes and some race bikes, but they're going back to their original roots, because I remember when Ducatis were 80cc motorcycles. I remember the cool bike when I was 13, 14 years old was a 250 Ducati Scrambler. Triumph, Gary Nixon, when he won the championship at Santa Fe Speedway on a short track, was on a 200cc Triumph Cub. So they're just going back, or they're filling out their whole lineups. They got great street bikes, they got great race bikes, and now they got great dirt bikes. So that's what we're going to look at here at MCC. Kenny's going to give us the whole rundown. I'm so lucky that I had someone that could tell me all about these bikes, because it's pretty tough to stay up on what's going on all the time. Not like talking to a salesman knows what he's talking about. And don't forget my email, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. As we take a look at my Triumph race bike, I would be considered a Triumph guy, because I've been racing Triumphs from the beginning, going back to 1970. My first race bike was a Bonneville 650. This bike here I bought in 1973. It's a Trackmaster frame, 1967 engine with a route kit, making it to 750cc. And this is the bike that I've raced many, many races. You know, I raced Yamahas on the road courses. So let's talk to Kenny Abbott about the Triumph motocross bikes.
So Triumph has both the 250 and a 450, and they're very, very similar in how they look and, of course, how they react. One motor slightly bigger than the other for performance, but similar to one of the bikes we looked at a little bit earlier, you've got a full host of electronics. You've got electric start. The Triumph has a little bit more aggressive seat, and this is the 250C. And the 450C. So this is the Triumph 4-stroke, so it's going to sound, similar to a lot of the other 4-strokes that we've had. Electric start. You can see the modes here. Traction control settings as well. For a bike that MSRP less than $10,000, this is a killer motorcycle, and you're going to get a lot of performance. The 250 and the 450 are both developed by multi-time Supercross champion and motocross champion Ricky Carmichael. So Ricky Carmichael
really was involved with from the ground up with Triumph?
From the ground up from Triumph to develop these motocross bikes, and then several top riders rode them, including Malcolm Stewart. Rode him for a few years. He's now on a Husqvarna. He just lost his ride. Now it's going to be a KTM. But yeah, so Ricky Carmichael, who won several Supercross championships, several outdoor motocross championships, actually was involved in the development of both the Triumph 250 and 450 models. There are street versions, enduro versions with headlights. This is the 250 450C model. So it's still good for the woods, and going to motocross tracks is not going to be street legal, does not have lights on it. And then there's a full motocross version as well that we have available in the 250 and 450. What's going to change on that is a little bit of the electronics, a couple additional performance parts on it, suspension, stuff like that. That's just made for the next level, and obviously going to add a little bit more cost.
So what kind of horsepower are we talking about with?
I'd have to double check the exact horsepower on them.
Ballpark.
They're all probably around 45, 50 horsepower.
Okay.
Just guessing.
Right,
I'd have to look at it. A lot of manufacturers don't release horsepower numbers.
Right.
So you have to kind of go finding it. And then as you change your mapping, it's going to change torque and horsepower and how it's delivering that power. So a lot of the manufacturers are very cagey about releasing numbers like that. And then they also don't want to compete. Here at Motorcycle Center, we do have the full lineup of Triumph motocross bikes. We also have a full lineup of the Ducatis as well as the KTMs. So if you want to sit on them and compare them, we can look at numbers and that sort of thing. But just being able to sit on the bikes, figure out which one's a little bit more comfortable, feel the weight of the motorcycle. When I work new riders, whether it's off-road or on-road, what I really want them to feel is feel the weight of the motorcycle. Where's the ballast? And then to be able to sit on it and feel the comfort level. Obviously, with motocross bikes, we're not sitting down a lot, right? But you still want to be able to feel where the weight and ballast is in it. Is it high ballast weight? Is it low ballast weight? And then be able to be comfortable with where that's at when you're throwing it around on a Saturday, Sunday afternoon, right? So, like most bikes, these are going to have adjustable levers. We talked about the adjustable electronics. And everything from Motorcycle Center is going to come with a battery tender ready to go. Battery tender.
So that's something you add on. That's one of the things that you guys just do.
Yeah, a lot of batteries tend to die when the bike's not being ridden. Right. And a lot of people may not have mechanical ability to understand, or they might be afraid to play with the battery because it's electric, right? So we put the lead on there, ready to go. So all you have to do is get home and just plug that into a battery tender. Just plug it into the wall, and your battery's going to stay nice and charged. Right. Through the life of the battery. And most of the time is if you're maintaining your battery properly, you'll double the life of your battery. So it may go from a 5-year battery to a 10-year battery, or a battery that maybe would have only lasted 2.5 years if you didn't maintain it. You're going to extend it to a 5-year battery. I had a motorcycle where I got 10 years out of my battery just because whenever I wasn't riding it was going to sit for more than a week or so at a time. I would throw it on the tender and it would trickle charge and make it and just keep it charged. All right, let's talk about the 450. Yeah, so the 450, obviously a little bit more than a handful. A 250, most folks that are experienced riding motorcycles can jump on a 250 4-stroke and handle it. It's significantly different than the old 2-stroke models that we raced in the 80s and 90s. The 4-stroke models are a little bit easier to ride. That being said, a 250 is still a lot of throttle. It's a lot to hang on to. It'll still rip your arms off. If you watch the Supercross or Outdoor Motocross series, those guys are hauling and they're still very violent motorcycles, right? But the 250 is significantly easier to ride than the 450. The 450 is next level. The 450 is equivalent to jumping on a V4 Superbike or something, a World Superbike class or Moto America Superbike class MotoGP bike. This is what the best riders around the world are riding. They're on the 450s. The 250 is the development class. So if you're looking at getting involved in motocross, a 250 or something slightly smaller, maybe a single CC 390 or something might be a good bike to start on. But when you get into the motocross classes, 250cc is going to kind of be your baseline. And then as you progress through that and get more comfortable, you graduate to the 450. So this is the Triumph TF 450C. Similar to the 250, it's going to have all the electronics, adjustable levers, Brembo brakes front and rear. You're going to have the KYB suspension. You can see it's adjustable here, so you can make some rebound compression, suspension dampening.
And now it's time for me to ride the Triumph 250 off-road motorcycle.
What do you think?
Well, besides being tall, which it is, but I can tiptoe this at least, and but feels like a ton of torque. Now, the one thing I remember, my majority of off-road riding is with 2 strokes. So 4 strokes is sort of a new thing to me, which I still love 2 strokes. I mean, I do have a 125 Yamaha that I am going to go at least run that vintage motocross at the end of the year. But man, this thing's got a ton of power. I mean, but the whole motocross thing is not part of what I do. So I can't do doubles, I can't do triples. But I have ridden a number of tracks. But like I said, I'm a flat tracker. I run off-road stuff. Ice racing, I'd really like to see what this thing would be like.
Yeah.
But then we'd have to go over the suspension a little.
Oh yeah.
But this is...
Yeah, the cool thing about 4-stroke to 2-stroke was the 2-strokes, you really had to keep it way up in the RPM range for it to perform, right?
Right.
And for you to really get the torque and feel the torque out of it. And on the 4-strokes, you can feel it right from 0.
Oh, right.
And so it makes it much easier to ride, much more rider friendly.
Right.
Versus the 2-strokes. There's still a lot of people that really love the 2-strokes, but the 4-stroke is makes it a little bit easier across the board for everybody riding.
And like you point out, which I was thinking about, like you say with the KTM, the Ducati, and the Triumph, they're coming with the best suspension to begin with. So instead of you have to change the suspension, or how many times, like on the road race bikes, have we changed the internals? I mean, I even done TV shows on doing the internals and all that. But this is, well, I'm coming back. But next time you have a demo ride, we'll definitely come back and do another show here, because this is really... Inside the showroom, we're going to look at a few more Triumph motorcycles. Okay, so we see the motocross lineup. And now we got sport touring. Is that what we'd call this?
Yeah, sport touring or dual sport. Some bikes, for instance, with these 2 motorcycles, the Tiger 660 and the Tiger 800, these are both set up with street tires, 17-inch street tires to be exact, which gives you a great opportunity to go to almost any manufacturer and get a really good 17-inch street tire. So sport touring, you're gonna have a little bit taller saddle, which I like for commuting as well, because you can see up and over top of most of the cars, with the exception of some of the taller SUVs.
Right.
But it allows you to see traffic better. It's a little bit safer. People can see you better because you're not so low to the ground. You're up a little bit higher. So these are a really good option. It's a different seating
So these
position.
are 3 cylinders.
These are 3 cylinders. Yep.
Right.
The 660. Yep. And the Tiger. Great motorcycles. This one's already set up for touring. You can see it already has the bags and everything. So it's a great motorcycle. And
so this is a kind of bike that you could just go cross country no problem.
Absolutely, yeah. It has different electronic packages, so you get stuck in the rain, switch to rain mode, you're good to go. It takes a little bit of the torque out of it, so you're not going to spin the wheel when you go around corners or when you're taking off at a traffic light or something. So really good. It also has different windscreens, so you can take on different wind buffering. The 660 has similar modes, just a little bit smaller motor.
So is this basically the same motor in the
to the Daytona 660?
Right.
Very similar.
Very similar.
Yep.
Okay.
They're just going to tune it a little bit differently.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So now
transition to the sport side of the globe. The Triumph did a really good job with this old Scrambler 900. If you see, it has that old school flat track, look and feel to it.
Right.
So you got to be a little bit careful with the exhaust on the other side, but this was it goes back to the Scrambler roots. Well,
the first bike I raced was a 650 Triumph Bonneville.
Okay.
So I took that out in the woods and rode it in the woods, and then I found out about professional racing at Santa Fe in 1970, and when I said I wanted to do that, I took my Triumph, took the headlight off, took the tail light off, borrowed a trailer, and went to Sycamore Speedway.
And we'll see the Bonneville when we get to the other side of the room here. So the Scrambler has racing roots. That's why this model specifically has the upswept pipes like you can see on a modern day flat track motorcycle. This is a 5-speed 900, a lot of fun, and we've got these on sale right now. But you'll see this in several different colors. And when we get to the Tracker 400, it has a similar style, just a single 400cc motor.
Right.
The Daytona 660 in recent years, has won the Daytona 200, a few times in the past decade, both with Danny Eslick and Brandon Posh. So this is almost the same platform that they ran at Daytona. This is a 660 triple. The newer iteration of this motorcycle is the 765. It just has a full race fairing. So the 765 is what they used for Moto 2 in the Moto 2 spec class and MotoGP.
Oh, really?
So, but it was the 765 with the full race trim. So
which is also a 3-cylinder.
It's a 3-cylinder 765. Right. So it looks like this, but it's that motor, that platform. Yep. So really good, great platform. If you've never ridden a triple before, if you've never ridden a Triumph, it's worth coming in and going on a test ride. They sound so different, they feel so different. One of the things that I love about Triumph, and I've ridden a million different motorcycles, what I really like about Triumph is the positive transmission. No matter if you're going up or down, every time that thing just bangs into gear, and I've never missed a shift on it. I rode a street triple about a decade ago for the first time, and I've just been in love with the Triumph transmissions ever since. And especially with the sport bikes, all of these are going to come with a quick shifter on them. They're going to come with different electronic modes for sport, rain, or just a casual road mode. And they're going to have, and they're really comfortable. This motorcycle, you'll see, has the motocross style bars, so it comes up, typical motocross style.
Cafe bars.
Sure. The alternative to this in the same or similar platform is that all of this goes away and it has a CNC machine triple tree, and it'll have clip-ons. And so it's a little bit lower, more aggressive. It'll have a more aggressive electronic mode and suspension as well. We sold all the RX models. We had 2 of those. They went right away.
So those would look like that.
They'll look a little bit more like this.
Right.
But lower even.
Okay.
So the forks are cut a little bit lower, so it uses the same fork, but it's just more aggressive. So it's the RX version is even lower than this still. And then the Trident is a great new addition as well. The newer model has a 2-part seat. This is available in a 660 or an 800cc motor. It has sort of a classic looking front end, but it has
this
a more
is still
aggressive.
A 3-cylinder?
It's triple. Yeah.
Okay, but more of a street looking, more like an older Bonneville.
Yeah, it has a classic,
sort of halfway in between.
Yeah, it's a mix between the sport bikes we were just looking at, and the old school kind of classic. So this part looks classic, right? But it has a sporty base.
Right.
Yeah. So ABS, Nissan brakes and calipers, 800 or 660 cc's, triple. It has a really aggressive swing arm, 17-inch wheels, great motor pipe, a 2-part seat, which I really like, versus the single seat, and a great, just a really great platform. Short wheelbase, so it makes it easy to turn, and just a really good platform. The downside.
So these are called Trident. Trident, just like the old Trident 3-cylinder Triumph, right? Right.
Yeah. The only downside really to the Trident is the fact that it does have a high seat height, and so a lot of and this would be a perfect motorcycle for new riders that are looking to get into a sportier platform, but you have to have the legs for it. So a lot of riders struggle because the seat height's a little high. Otherwise, this is a perfect motorcycle for someone that's 5'8" and above. If you struggle with a slightly shorter inseam, the height and weight might be a little bit of an issue, but great motorcycle. One of my favorites in the new Triumph lineup. We work our way into the classics. We just had a demo ride day where we demo ride all the classics. This is the Triumph Speed Twin. This is a 1200cc Bonneville motor with an RS, which means it has a racier suspension. So it has the Öhlins front and rear shocks. It's got the Brembo brakes. It's a great twin cylinder 1200, so two 600cc cylinders. It has that classic look to it. It's got the Triumph Racing stripes and the classic Bonneville seat. That motorcycle is available in a 1200. This is the 900cc version, which is very similar. Again, it's a speed twin, so it's a 2-cylinder, 900 cc's, 5-speed.
And they really make these engines look like the old engines.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah,
right.
You can see it even has the Bonneville tag on it.
Right. I have owned Bonnevilles. So.
It has the classic 2-up display, so you're going to have RPMs and your speed. It has all the cool little.
So selling-wise, of all the Triumphs, what's the #1 selling Triumph? At least you guys sell here.
We do a lot of sport, and we do a lot of the speed twin.
Okay.
Anything with the Bonneville name on it is popular.
Right.
So we do a lot of the Bonneville, what they call 120 T120 Black, which is the 1200cc.
Is this sort of considered an entry-level bike, would you say, or?
It can be,
right.
But it's not the lightest bike.
Right.
And so, again, for new riders that might be shorter in stature, it's a little bit heavy. And again, with some of these, when you get the foot peg forward of the hips, now you lose support of the back, and so it depends.
Right.
It can be a great starter motorcycle for someone that's tall enough and can handle the weight.
Right,
yes.
right.
Really, the Triumph Classics is just a throwback to the 40s and 50s, or even 60s.
Right.
And so someone has to sort of appreciate the classic look, and understand.
Well, when I was growing up, it was either Triumph or Harley.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Or Indian, right?
No, there were no Indians.
So we moved from the 900cc to the 1200cc. You see the seats are very similar. The setup is very similar. The Bonneville, what they call black, is it's all blacked out. So you'll find that in a couple different versions. This is a C120 as well. This is a slightly different color scheme. And then we get into some of the iconic Triumph motorcycles. And these are really some of my favorites. For those that might be watching and remember the days of Happy Days and the Fonz, this is the iconic Bonneville Speedmaster,
right?
Similar to what you would have seen in Happy Days. This one
with the original Triumph badge on it, right?
Yep. So this is a Speedmaster as well. These are 1200 cc's. They have the swept back bar. Now the two bars on these are totally different, but they're similar in that they sweep back.
Well, when I bought the Silver Jubilee, it had a higher bar, and I went to the cafe type bars.
Yep. So what you'll find for a lot of these is that these bars are just shaped different. So they may come up and go up and out. They may come up and out and then back again.
Right.
So again, this is the Triumph Bonneville Speedmaster 1200, and then this is what they call the Speedmaster 1200 Icon, because it has the iconic wraparound that the old Harleys and Indians had back in the original days that these were made, with a much smaller engine. But this is a 1200 cc, so you see that they created fuel injectors that look like the old school carburetors.
So everything's fuel injected.
Everything's fuel injected.
But it looks like carburetors.
But they look like carburetors.
Yes.
Yep. It looks like the airbox on the back. They hold about 2.5 gallons of fuel.
Right. Well, that was like 3.5 on that one.
Yep.
Thank you, Kenny, for that tour. It's always great to keep up with what's going on. For more information on Motorcycle Center, MCC in Villa Park, Illinois, it's teammcc.com, teammcc.com. And I will be back on August 16th, the Chicago Norton Owners Club Vintage Motorcycle Show that is absolutely free to the public. And if you have a vintage motorcycle, this is the show for you. August 16th, mark it down. And I advise everybody, besides going to swap meets, make sure you stop at local dealers once in a while to check out what's going on. To contact me, and I love to hear from my audience, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. Remember, you can always search on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing for great motorcycle racing action, Dan Schmitt Politics, to learn what makes America great. And I highly encourage you to visit the World of Motorcycle Museum in Winnemac, Indiana, 4 miles south of North Judson on Indiana 39. The World of Motorcycle Museum. Give them a call first at 574-896-3172. And you can pick up your Harley Davidsons and your Yamaha motorcycles at Kirstein Cycle Sales. If you want a copy of the Team Chicago History Package, go to Rich's Yamaha in Lockport, Illinois. But give them a call first at 815-838-8130. Their website is richesyamaha.com. Pick up a copy of the Team Chicago History Package. And like I've stated, if you want to know everything you want to know about motorcycles, there's nothing like going to a swap meet. Here's a few dates coming up. Morris, Illinois, Woodstock, Illinois. We got Oregon, Illinois at the Rock River Riders Club Grounds and Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Remember, walneckswap.com, walneckswap.com.